Hello and welcome. I'm Shanna, and welcome to my channel, Shanna Makes It. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome. I'm glad to have you back. I'm glad that you're interested in watching some of my content. If you're brand new, welcome. I hope that you might consider subscribing or liking if you like what you see. If you are interested in getting some craft inspiration, I'd like to bring that to you. Today, I'm inspired to make some boho crafts. These are really simple crafts and that you can use for decor in your boho home. So I put together some different ones and using supplies and my stash that I have on hand. So I hope that you'll enjoy my video and consider subscribing if you haven't, and give me a like. I'm really trying to grow my channel. I'm very new to YouTube, and so I would appreciate any likes and any new subscriptions that I get. Thank you. Okay, so today I'm going to be making some boho crafts. I've been seeing this little rainbow on Amazon and Pinterest and different places, and I thought it would be a lot of fun to make it. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this rope from the Dollar Tree. So I paid $1.25 for this, and I'm going to cut it. I've just kind of got it laid out how I want it, and then I'll cut each of these ends to make the ends. And then I've kind of laid out, I'm just using what I have in stock. I didn't buy anything for this, so I'm gonna do my rainbow in kind of a different color scheme. I've got the purple, the navy, I've got this mint green, or I don't know, kind of mini or jadey, and then I've got this gray. So it's gonna be a little bit different color scheme. The only other colors I had were kind of a wild pink and a yellow, and then I had this taupe, and I've got a rust too, but I kind of liked when I laid all these together. I kind of like this color pattern, so I think this is what I'm going to go with, and we'll see how it turns out. So I'm just going to lay these aside as I work on this. Excuse me, I've got a frog. My allergies have been acting up the last couple days. So anyway, so I'm going to lay those aside. I'll get to those later, and I'm going to first cut it. And I noticed when they cut them, they put, this is how it came from the Dollar Tree. It's got a piece of tape on the end that kind of keeps it together. May or may not need that, but I think I'm going to do it just in case, just to kind of keep it together. So that's probably not a big enough piece. Get a little bit bigger piece, and I'm just going to kind of put some tape across the bottom here, and I'll cut it. It doesn't have to be exact because we're only going to do the you know, the colored twine, you know, so far up, because we're going to have the fringes at the bottom. So anyway, so I'm just going to tape it off about where I think I want to be, and then I'll probably trim it up after we get the fringes there. So that'll make it, it won't matter if I don't cut it exact, but I just kind of laid it out here in the length that I thought that I wanted it. And so I'm just going to tape it off, and I'm just going to use my big scissors, and hopefully it'll cut all right. I'm not, like I said, I haven't done this one. So, whoops. This is just one of my tape dispensers. I've got a variety of them. When you work with paper crafts and vinyl and stuff, you have to have a lot of different types of tape. So this is just some regular tape I'm using. And I probably wouldn't have thought to do that if I hadn't seen it on the end of the rope already when I purchased it. So I've got a lot of things in my craft room that I'm just trying to work through, and I'm like coming up with ideas and stuff. And I love boho, and my room's boho, so I thought this would be fun. So I'm just going to grab my big gray scissors. They're not the greatest, but I'm just going to attempt to cut through that. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And then, see this one. I'm just cutting at the bottom of my tape. I want it to be longer rather than shorter. And then I'm going to have just a little stub left here. Okay. Okay, so I've got those all. Now I'm just going to try and line them up to where they're fairly close in length. They might be off a little bit, but that's okay, because in the end we'll give them a haircut and it'll be fine. So Looks like maybe that one's a little bit longer than it needs to be. I'll just kind of do it like that. Okay, so that's cut and ready. Now, what we need to do is just decide how far down we want to do our collar, and I think probably maybe I'll do 6 inches. This is a 6-inch mark, and then that'll leave 1, 2, 3 inches of fringe. I think that'll be cute. So I think I'm gonna do 6 inches. So then what I'm gonna do is I think I'm just gonna start with the order that I had them in, the purple, the blue, the mint, and then the green. And then I'll just, I'm gonna go ahead and do just a little piece of tape on the end of that, just because it's kind of frayed out there. Just wrap that around. And then I'm just gonna cut me a good clean edge, so I have a good clean edge to start with, and do that. And then what I plan to do is just kind of start here and then go all the way around. Now, I did not plug in my heat gun yet, which I think I'll need a little bit of glue for it to get it started, and then maybe to finish it off. So maybe not to get it started, because I was thinking how I would start it is I would lay it like that and then just go over it and then just lay it. So what I'm going to do is, and I'm not going to make you watch all of it, I'm just going to start it that way, lay it over itself, and then I'm just going to very carefully just start rolling around here and just go around and around and around, and try to get them to lay as neatly as I possibly can. That's why it might be helpful to have a little hot glue every once in a while to put in there. So that's what I'm planning to do, is just go around and pulling it as tightly as I can. So that's kind of my plan of what I'm going to do. So I'm not going to make you watch it all. I'll just kind of get it started and just go. Going to unwind some of this so I have some to work with, and then just go around and around, just as tightly, pushing together as tightly as you can and as neatly as you can, so that you'll have a good, so it'll look good going around there. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go around and around and around and just get it as neatly as I can. I'm thinking I may only have to glue the ends, the finishing end. So just keep going around and laying it right next to each other. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to pause here, and I'm going to keep going, and then I'll pick back up and show you where I'm at. Okay, so that did take a moment. So I just actually turned on one of my YouTube videos and just sit there and just strung it around as tightly as I could. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue there at the end, because this piece I won't be able to obviously tuck underneath itself. So I'm just going to glue that right down there, and then I'll just snip it off as close as I can. So that's what I did. So I've got the first one done, and I just tried to roll it as tightly as possible. And that's what I did. So it looks like it actually got a little bit longer when I did it tightly, which is just fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the next color, and I thought I'd go ahead and show you again how I started it, just in case you didn't catch it on the first go around. Since my hot glue gun is hot, I'm just going to put some glue on the end of this just instead of the tape, and then I'll just kind of twist it up and then cut it off, so that'll keep it from running if I twist it the right way. Anyway, so then I'll just clip that, so that'll be good and clean there. So I'm going to take my next one. I'm going to have to, might be a little bit trickier judging where I want to do it just because of the extra length, but I'm just going to go ahead and kind of do it in about the same spot. And then again, I'm just going to wrap it over itself so that I don't have to have that much glue on there. I'll just wrap it over itself, just wrap it as tight as I can, and then just keep it tight and close and just keep wrapping. So this is what I'm going to do on the second one. And I'll go ahead and just wrap, covering up where I started and just pulling tight and going all the way around. So Now you've seen how I've done that twice. I'll go ahead and shut the camera off, finish this. I think I'll go ahead and finish the others as well, because obviously you won't need to see that 4 times. But then I'll show you how that I'm going to hook them together and then how we'll make the fringes. So I'll just pop off here, and when I come back I'll have all 4 of the cords wrapped, and then we'll connect that. I got a darning needle that I'm going to use to just sew them together, but since it's a big needle and I'm not going to make a knot big enough for it, I'm just going to go ahead and get it started on here and just kind of tie a knot to where it'll tuck down and through my cord and it won't be seen. So I'll just do, well, or it's going to rip on me. Maybe I need some stronger thread. I'm going to try it one more time, and if not, I'll have to get some stronger thread. But that's what I was thinking, is I would just kind of get it started. I've got it doubled up. The thread is doubled up, so it should work. I think I just maybe pulled a little bit too hard, but I'm just going to tie it in one of the lines to where I can hide it. Put a little knot there. Just kind of hide it, and then I'll twist it on the inside, cut off that extra so it won't show. And then I'm going to just try to line it up as close as I can to the other color so that it'll be nice and tight. Just tighten it, and then we're going to get our next one lined up and run it through there so that we can get it tight. And we're just going to sew it together is what we're going to do. And so same thing with this one, go through and do it. Okay, and if we can keep from getting it tangled, we can get this done. Okay, so there we go. And then we're just going to start and do it again. Let's see if we can push it through. Push it all the way through and then pull it out, hopefully. My darning needle's just not quite long enough. Perhaps if I had a longer one, it would be a little bit easier. I'm just going to grab this and pull it through. Just make it easier for me. And just do it like that. And so we're just going to, throughout, just every so often, we're going to run it through with our thread. And connect it. So this is my first time doing it, so you're going to see some blunders here as I try to do it, but that's my goal, is to just run it in and out, and I'm just using my tweezers because this isn't quite long enough, and pulling it through. So I'm going to do that several times, and that's how I'm going to connect it. So I think you get the gist from that. So I'm just going to go off and just keep running it through and getting it connected real good and tight. And then we'll come back and we'll work on the fringe. It was a little wacky using my pliers with that needle, but it helped tremendously. It helped me to push it in and to pull it out and to go along. So I kind of ran my needle and thread through here, 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 and here. I didn't go all the way around because it's just too much. And then I had to try and line them up as best I could. So I think I've got them lined up. So now we just need to work on the fringe, which this is a much easier part of it. Looks like that's quite a bit longer. So I'm gonna go ahead and just cut that tape off there and just get that done. Probably we'll have to cut it a little bit more because it's gonna be uneven, but I think the easiest way, pardon the arm, is to cut the tape off. Obviously this is the easiest part of the whole project, just fanning it out. I say that and I'll probably run into problems with it. That's how it goes. Anyway, there's just a little bit of tape here. This is how it was at the store. Get that little dab off that they had on there. Then go across and pull these off. Just cut it off. I guess I could have done this off camera, but I'm just going to pull all that tape off. Try not to cut my fringe because I want to be sure and have some dangly fringe hanging down. That piece is not wanting to come off very easily. There we go. Okay. All right, so there's that. Now, just like I did in my boho mug rug, I use this metal comb. I know there are lots of different things that you can use, but that's what I'll use. I'm just going to untwist these very quickly and easily, and that'll make them comb out easier. So I'll just do that. That had a little bit of glue on it from a little mishap there. So crafting is never perfect. I don't know about you guys, but I have something in my head and I think, oh, that'll be easy to do. And then you come across every little bug and hiccup when it's done. I keep saying in my videos, well, I should do one first before I actually come on here and do it. But that's no fun. I get an idea in my head and I just want to do it. And I'm like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to video it. So basically, we're just going to comb these out, kind of get them to fray out apart. I always feel like I have to video because I'm like, oh, I need some content. I need to get something out. It's been a couple days, and so I feel like I just need to get it out and get it going. Now, you can see that's considerably longer than it needs to be. So I'm just going to get them all combed out. Try to get them laying halfway decent. Pretty good. Obviously we're going to cut, because this one is the shortest, we're going to have to use that as the guide. And we'll have to cut quite a bit away, but I think it'll be plenty long enough. I think it will. So anyway, so that'll get us started. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and give it a haircut right now. Try to even it up. And it's not an exact science, but boho really isn't. It's supposed to be natural. And so I'm going to try and kind of line this up. I'd rather cut it too long than too short at first go around. So we'll just start down here and cut through. And this rope is pretty thick. So I mean, I'm squeezing pretty hard on these scissors to get it to cut. And there we have it. It's not perfect. We can trim it up a little bit more, but I think you get the idea. Super cute, easy boho project. I'm sure there are others that do it different ways. In fact, I've seen some tutorials where they actually use the floss. They use the floss for it, and you can buy that. But I was looking at it at the store, and I was like, I don't really want to pay for that, especially when I have some stuff at home that could work. So, because I do a lot of boho type things, I have a lot of macrame cord and stuff. So I thought that'd be super cute. And then you could, if you wanted to, you could put some type of a hook on it to hang it. You could, hot glue it on the back and do it like that, or you could take and do it like that if you want, or you could put an actual hook on the back and hang it, or you could actually put it in a frame and make a sign out of the frame. I don't know if I have, what do I got? Exactly what I got. I mean, you could, paint this, hang it on there or something. Lots of different ideas that you could do, or you can just, like I said, just make a loop and hang it. I'm not cutting my stuff, but I'm just kind of showing you what you could do and just hang it up that way. But however you would like to do it. So that's just a quick little boho rainbow in a little different color scheme. So I just thought I would, because I had the pieces, I would give it a try. I had seen it on Pinterest and on Amazon and different places. And I thought, that's something you could easily make at home. So I thought I'd just bring it to my craft table and show you how easy it is, however chaotic trying to figure it out just on the fly, but I think it came out all right. And you can, you can put as much thread in there as you want, or as little as you want. I don't, it's going to hold together. I think you could probably even also hot glue it if you wanted to, but I just didn't choose to do that. You could probably do that and be done with it in, a half an hour, 45 minutes, the whole project in total, if you use the hot glue to actually glue them together. I think the stitching took a little bit more time than what I had anticipated. It wasn't quite as easy as I thought it would be. So anyway, but I think that's super cute, and I hope you like it. And I've decided I'm just going to just make a real simple loop like this. And this is how I'm going to hang mine. I'm just going to do that, and then I'm just going to put a little knot in the top like that. And then I'll just hang it like that. I think that'll be fine. I like it. And I'll just hang it that way. So that's how I'm going to do it. You can choose to do it however you want, but I thought I might as well just add a hook to it so that I can hang it up. And that's what I'll do. So if you like this, please consider hitting the like button and the subscribe button, and it will really help my channel grow. Thank you. So this next boho craft is going to require that we have some cording, and we're also going to have this half circle shape, which I bought this piece from Hobby Lobby, and I just cut it in half with a table saw and then stained it. And I'm also going to need a dowel that goes across the side of this, and this is a 14-inch circle, and my dowels were only 12 inches, so I had to add 2 inches to it. I went ahead and stained it. I used some wood glue and just put some tape around it. I think it'll be fine. I'm going to attach it to this later after I use my macrame cord and do this. This was something that I saw on Pinterest and Amazon as well, and thought, geesh, I have these things, I can make this. So I stained it, and I just used a light walnut stain for both the dowel and the half wood circle. And I did both sides. I thought I'd just finish it nicely, and I did the edges as well. So that's what I did. And then for my, whenever you're cutting your cording, you want it to be the same length. And so to do that, I just took this chalkboard. I don't even know how many inches it is. I could measure it and let you know. Let's see. So it's about 10.5 inches. So I've got 21 inches, 21-inch cord, because I went on both sides and then I just cut one side. And so I've got 21 inches of cord. Is what I have. So I've got some of it cut out here, but I'm going to need some more. So I will just show you what I did. And I know you've seen me do this before. If you've watched any of my videos, you just wrap it around there, and then you're just going to cut one end, and then that'll give you the length that you need for your cording. So that's what I did. And then just snipped it across one end, and then I had the 21-inch length. So I'm going to go ahead and cut some more off and get them ready, and then we will begin wrapping our cord around our dowel. This is just another real simple, easy boho craft. So basically what we're going to do is we're just going to take our dowel, and we're going to take our cord, and we're just going to do just a simple loop like that. And just all the way across. We're going to do it with all of the cords. It's more time consuming than anything. It's not hard at all. We're just going to do that, and we're going to get our entire dowel filled with these loops. And we'll just push them together, line them up, and that's what we'll do. So I'm just going to keep doing a few of them, and then I get past that piece of tape there. I think that'll also help secure it. Like I said, I used some wood glue on there. I tried hot gluing it the first time, and then it seemed like it came apart more easily. So I grabbed my wood glue and then that piece of tape, and I thought, I'll just do it like that. And I'm going to have it tacked down, so I think it'll be fine once I get going. I just need it to stay together while I'm putting the cording on it. So I'm just going to line all these up on here. It's just a simple loop through. You just pull both strings through and then tightening it just like that. Okay, so now I have all of my macrame strung clear across. So now I'm just going to take and put a little bit of hot glue on the end of each of them, just so that they don't come off. I'm just going to kind of slide it over. I'm going to slide it over, put a little hot glue gun, and then push it back. Just put some glue on there, and then just slide it to the edge. I've got them pushed really, really tight so that they're clear up to the edge. So I've got plenty of room there. And so now what I'm going to do is, I've decided to use hot glue on this. I had previously said I was going to tack it down, but I just think hot glue is going to be the easiest way to tack this down. I'm going to have to act quickly. So I'm just going to run my glue along here on the edge. Like I said, act quickly so it doesn't dry up on me. And then I'm just going to lift my dowel and just set it on there. And then just hot glue that down. Just push it right down on there. Get it good and tight. Just get it glued on there really, really well. And then just like our rainbow, we're going to have some tassels on here. Just like we did on our rainbow. Unplugging my glue gun so that I don't burn myself, which I normally do. So we're going to work on combing these out just like we did our rainbow. I think I'll start on this side, and I'm just going to get my metal comb, and just like the mug rugs, if you start from the bottom, you can comb it out easier. If you start from the top, you're liable to create a knot, so it's better to just kind of start from the bottom and then work your way up. This will take a little bit of time to get these all, but I want to get them just all separated to where we have the tassels. Probably gonna have to get a little aggressive with it. The other thing you can do is you can just kind of turn them and untwist them that way. Is another way that you can do it. Kind of pull them apart. As long as they're, I just like to just run my comb through it and do it. So this is going to take a bit of time to get all of these, because there are several of them, to get them all combed out. Not create any knots. Just going to untwist them as much as I can. There we go. So there's one. Obviously this is going to take a little bit of time. This is when you turn on your favorite YouTube crafters and you comb this out while you're listening to them and watching them. So I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to shut the video off because obviously you're not going to want to sit here and watch me do all 50 or 100 of these, however many there are, because it is going to take me a little bit of time to comb them all out. So I'll just pause the video and I'll just work through this, and then I'll hop back on and we'll trim it up and put the hanger on it, and we'll have us a boho wall decor piece. Okay, so I did a fast forward of me just untwisting these. That seemed to be easier than actually combing them. And I've got them all combed out nice and neat, and actually they're, I kind of cut them off to where they're about the same line. Now, when I originally was thinking about doing this, I was thinking about actually cutting them kind of in the circular motion so that they would be like that. That as an option. But now that I've seen this, I really like kind of the asymmetric of the circle with the square, and just kind of having that interesting two shapes together instead of doing the cutting. But you could certainly take this, lay this down, and cut it along that line and have a circular shape from your tassel, and you could do that, and I think that would be really nice. I also was thinking about, how did I want to hang this? Did I want to have a cord with some beads and hang it that way? Or do I just want to use a D hook? And I'm thinking that I just want to use just a simple hook on the back to hang it. So my plan was I was just going to turn it over, and I'll zoom down in there. I've actually got a mark right there in the center where I was going to put it. And because this board is so thin, I'm not going to put a screw or a nail or anything. And it's so lightweight that I just think I can put just a dab of hot glue right there and then put my hook down, and it should stay just fine. So I'm just going to push that down and just let that glue set up, and that hook should be just fine to hold that, because it really doesn't weigh much of anything. That'll be really a nice hold for that. So just let it get good and dry, and then you've got your hook, and you can hook it on your wall. So I think that is a good idea. So I'm going to put this behind it so I don't glue it to the other option that you have with this, and a thought that I had, and I just took my Cricut, and if you wanted to do this for, like, oh, I don't know, a little girl's room or a kid's room or something, you could simply go into Design Space and put their name in it. This is BFC Evergreen, straight out of Cricut Design Space, and I just cut my name out, and you could certainly lay that down. I'm just showing you this for an example. I don't think I'm going to lay it down for my purpose. I'm going to just use it for my decor, but I don't think I necessarily have my name. But I think that BFC Evergreen is really a cute font to go with this project, and I think it could be really fun in a kid's room. So comment in the comments below, let me know, would you cut it in the circular, would you cut the tassels in the circular shape and do that rather than the square? And also let me know, should I put that name on there or should I just leave it blank? Interested in hearing your comments. Well, I'm really happy. First time I've done this particular project. It's very similar to a lot of the boho type things that I do, but I think it turned out really nice. I'm gonna try to snap a picture, maybe add a picture of it so you can see it fully. It's hard to do that on the craft table to really get a good, I guess, look at it, but basically that's kind of what it looks like. Really easy project. Takes a little bit of time to do the untwisting on that, but really simple. And I suppose if you didn't have a circular saw, you could just hang it on the whole thing. But because I was envisioning making multiples of this and perhaps selling it, I went ahead and cut it in half so that I could make another one. And I was also thinking I could do a natural finish maybe on this instead of the darker finish, or just a different color. Just any color you could do, you know, of stain that you wanted to do, or just do a clear coat or whatever. But so that's why I actually cut mine in half, so I can get two out of it. Really inexpensive project. I got these, I don't know, they were in I think a 4-pack at Hobby Lobby. I got them on sale. I don't have a lot of money in them at all. And then I had this on hand. So I have very little money in this. And I've seen this online for, you know, $30, $40 that you can buy. So, and I've probably made it for, I'm sure, under $5, perhaps even under $3. So very inexpensive craft that certainly would work well in any boho decor. So I hope you like it. Welcome your feedback and your comments and below. And I had a lot of fun with that. Okay, I'm going to do one last craft before we end the video. I've just got 3 strands of macrame cord. I've got like a rust, a cream, and then a navy blue. And they're 24 inches long. And I'm just going to find the halfway point, and I'm going to take a keychain with a, it's got a little clasp on it, and then the keychain, and I'm just going to run it through here. Of course I dropped them, so I'm just going to run it through here, and I'm going to find the, kind of line them up to where they're even, and I'm going to clip them down so they won't move on me. We'll do it like that. I'm going to put the brown on one side and the blue on the other, and then the white down the middle. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to loop around each of the colors around my finger, the inside ones, leaving the outside brown and the outside blue. Then I'm going to take the outside blue and stick it through my loop that I have there, and then I'm going to take the outside brown or rust and loop it through, and then I'm just going to pull tight, and I'm just going to work these around, pull them tight, keep pulling both tight, pulling down, and pulling tight. I want to get it good and tight. I'm going to bring it up on my keychain, just pulling each one and pulling these in, and just continue pulling until I have a good loop around the keychain to where they're of equal tightness, and just kind of pull them in so that I've got all 4 colors, the rust, 2 of the cream color, and then the navy. And then I'm just going to do it again. I'm going to loop it around my finger, around my finger, around, and I'm keeping them in order, and then around, and then just pulling up. And then this time I'm going to run my brown through this side, and then my blue through this side, and then just pulling them. And then I'm going to tighten, 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 pull, tighten, 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 pull, tighten, 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 and then pull. That way I have a good, and you can see I'm starting to get my loops there. And then I'm just going to do it again. Around my finger, around, oops, around my finger, around my finger, and around my finger. Now this time the blue's on this side. So I'm just going to line them up, pull that one a little bit tighter, and then I'll pull my blue through this side, and then my brown, my rust through that side, pull them, and then tighten, 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 pull, tighten, 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 pull, and then just try and get them as even as you can. And I think I'm going to do it one more time. Around, 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 and around. Now this time I'm going to pull my brown through that side. Can't decide whether I'm calling it brown or rust. I keep alternating. And then my blue through there. And pull that through. If I can get a hold of it. There we go. And then pull it through. And then just tighten them down. Tighten, tighten, tighten. And just get them nice and tight. And there we go. There we go. So we've got 4 rows of that. I think I could get another row out of it. I'm going to try to get another row out of it before I start with my fringes. So I'm going to do one more. And then I'm going to take my blue through it again. Just push your blue through. And then push the brown or the rust through. Pull. And then we're going to tighten, tighten, tighten. Get the blue out of the way. Tighten. Pull. Tighten. Tighten, tighten, tighten. Okay, so there we go. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're just going to take this over and this under, and we'll pull the blue through the brown and the brown through the blue. And that'll make a knot. And just keep tightening and straightening. Tighten, straighten, tighten and straighten. And so then that's going to do a knot. Then we're going to take the blue over the top, We're going to take the brown under the bottom. We're going to take the brown through the blue and the blue through the brown and just tighten, tighten, pull, tighten. And then we're going to do that. And then what we're going to do is once we get it good and tight and we have it like we want it, we're going to bring this down and we're going to cut it off to where everything's nice and even. And then we're going to get our metal comb and we're just going to comb through it. This is easier to comb through than the big wall plaque because they're not near as long, so we can comb through this rather quickly. So this will be my final little boho project. I know this isn't really home decor, it's a keychain, but I thought it would be a quick and easy way to finish my video and have one more project, just show you how to do it. So there we have it. So we've got a boho keychain ready to go. I hope you've enjoyed this little series of 3 different boho projects that I worked on, and I hope you like, and if you would consider subscribing and perhaps commenting and liking, I would certainly appreciate it as I am trying to grow my channel. I just thank you, and I hope that you have a great day. See you next time.